Pro Group Management. Workers' comp that works for you.
This is 7 at 7 from the Las Vegas Review-Journal.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Renee Summerhour. Let's get started with your top stories brought to you by Nevada Hand's Silver Sky Assistant Living Community. Learn more at nevadahand.org. Large venues can now opt out of Nevada's indoor mask mandate by requiring proof of COVID-19 vaccination. Review-Journal's James Schaefer tells us more.
But this isn't a mandate. It's not a requirement.
Governor Sisolak's press conference Monday afternoon put in part a new directive that specifies venues with more than 4,000 seats that require fans to be at least partially vaccinated can drop the mask mandate for those who are fully vaccinated.
If a large event venue chooses to require vaccination proof for all attendees, those that are fully vaccinated will be allowed to take their masks off.
Governor Sisolak was also asked if Saturday's preseason Raiders game at Allegiant Stadium spurred the directive.
I don't want to say it's in response to that necessarily, but I was aware of the pictures. We exchanged opinions and ideas, and this is what we came up with.
For the Las Vegas Review-Journal, I'm James Schaefer.
Former Nevada Attorney General Adam Laxalt is running for the U.S. Senate. Laxalt filed papers Sunday to run for the seat currently held by Democrat Catherine Cortez Masto. The Republican ran against Steve Sisolak in the race for governor in 2018. Review-Journal's Bill Denser tells us that there's been hints of Laxalt's plan at the annual Bass Fry this past weekend in northern Nevada.
They didn't want to make it about him, but the remarks he gave were basically a campaign speech without a candidate or an opponent. They were all about the themes. His Morning in Nevada PAC talks about things that will appeal to conservative voters.
Allegiant Stadium got its biggest test yet on Saturday as Raiders fans came to watch their team for the first time in their new home. So how did it go? Review-Journal's Jen Ah tells us more.
Good morning, Renee. Transportation leaders are calling the third time the charm. Overall, traffic was reportedly much smoother than the two previous big events held at Allegiant Stadium. Smoother both before and after the game.
Within an hour and a half or so, the whole lot was gone. And it was a ghost town there. I walked around the entire lot and saw about 3 or 4 cars left and no traffic on Russell Road. Officials say moving the ride-hailing lot from the south of the stadium to the north was a key improvement, along with more signs to guide drivers and offering RTC's Game Day Express bus service. Those walking across the Hacienda Bridge also seem to have a better experience with more water stations available and multiple golf carts on hand. Renee?
A landlord accused of killing 2 people and critically injuring a third person over unpaid rent has been denied bail. 78-year-old Arnaldo Lozano Sanchez made a brief court appearance on Monday. Police say he laughed and smiled as he shot the tenants last week at his home on West Chicago Avenue in central Las Vegas. Sanchez faces 2 counts of murder, 1 count of attempted murder. He's due back in court in November. In your health news, sponsored by Forum Dental, Love Your Smile Again, a 21-year veteran of the Metro Police Department has died from COVID-19. Patrol Officer Phil Closey died Thursday from complications from the virus. According to the Las Vegas Police Union, which announced his death on its Facebook page, Closey worked in Metro's Convention Center Area Command and was the union representative. He is survived by his wife and 2 children. He is the 5th Metro employee known to have died from the coronavirus. Now it's time to take a look at your local weather forecast, sponsored by 1 Hour Air. No matter the season, no matter the reason, 1 Hour Air is here for you. Sunny, hot, and windy for your Tuesday. Highs topping 106 degrees. Wind gusts as high as 24 miles per hour. Mostly clear skies tonight. Winds picking up just a bit. Lows in the mid-80s. For the rest of the week, we begin a cooling trend. 100 degrees by Wednesday and a 20% chance of rain and thunderstorms by Wednesday evening. Windy conditions as well. For Thursday to about Saturday, we could be sitting at just 98 degrees.
Sports, sponsored by Station Casinos, STN Sports. Download the app and get a bonus up to $500 when you sign up. The Raiders became the first NFL team to implement a vaccine no mask policy, announcing Monday night that fans will need to provide proof of COVID-19 vaccinations for entry to games at Allegiant Stadium this season. Fans must show proof through the Clear app and Health Pass feature, and they will be allowed to enter the stadium without masks if fully vaccinated. For those who aren't vaccinated, the Raiders will offer vaccinations on site at Allegiant Stadium before home games, allowing newly vaccinated fans to enter wearing a mask.
In your business news, sponsored by Bank of Nevada, Bank on Accountability, MGM Resort says all current salaried employees and new hires will be required to get their COVID shots. For new hires, this new requirement will begin on August 30th. For current salary employees, the deadline is October 15th to show proof of vaccination. CEO Bill Hornbuckle wrote in a letter that MGM is, quote, determined to do our part to curb the spread of the virus, and vaccination is the most effective tool to do so. For a full list of places and events that require vaccines, visit lvrj.com. In your lifestyle news, sponsored by Oakmont of Las Vegas Assistant Living and Memory Care, the best care for the best life, celebrity chef and Las Vegas resident Todd English is getting a downtown hotel named after him. The English Hotel is set to open this year in the Arts District. It will have 74 rooms, and it's described as a unique option for visitors who want a different experience from what the Las Vegas Strip has to offer. And of course, English will have a restaurant there called the Pepper Club. He says it's spicy, jazzy, and loungy.
Sports betting, sponsored by Las Vegas Paiute Tribal Smoke and Cigar Shop. The Boston Celtics are 2.5-point favorites against the Sacramento Kings in the NBA Summer League Championship game at 6 p.m. today at the Thomas & Mack Center. The Celtics are minus 140 on the money line at the Westgate Superbook. The Kings are plus 120, and the total is 172.5. Both teams went 4-0 in the preliminary rounds to reach the title game.
In your entertainment news, sponsored by DiscoverYourNevada.com, brought to you by Travel Nevada. What is it like growing up in Las Vegas during the 1980s? Well, local writer Jennifer Battisti explores that question in her new book of poetry titled Off Boulder Highway. She recalls her neighborhood, which struggled with poverty and drug addiction. Here is the author giving us a sample.
The nearby power plant umbrella desk, a galvanic nanny, zipping, cracking, and humming an electrical lullaby. But the houses were no bigger than a tight fist, ceilings low enough to catch flung whiskey, leaving a stain, an ink blot I'd confuse with love.
Thank you for watching 7 at 7 a.m. I'm Renee Summerhour. If you have a Roku device, search Review Journal to download our channel. Watch Las Vegas Breaking News streaming live on your OTT device. We'll see you back here later today for 7 at 7 p.m. From all of us here at the Las Vegas Review Journal, have a great day.
Review Journal Studio, sponsored by Adam Kuttner. Get the maximum settlement as quickly as possible. This 7 at 7 update, sponsored by Pro Group Management. You're watching 7 at 7 from the Las Vegas Review Journal.